So as Ali mentioned at the beginning of today, our mission at Databricks is to democratize data and AI for everyone. Now, for most people, using data today basically means using reports and dashboards. Reports like this one. Now, this is an actual real dashboard that one of our product teams have built. It's all blurred here, so you can't see what it actually says. But it started off as a simple, straightforward dashboard that told us exactly what we needed to know about the state of the business, just a simple, straightforward dashboard. But as we started looking at the data there, we had new questions, and we built some new queries and built some new visuals, and we started adding it back into the dashboard, because all that query building took a lot of time. And over time, we added them back, and it started looking like this. It was sort of a hot mess. And, well, this is sort of the fundamental challenge with dashboards and BI and reporting today is you have to know the questions you want to answer, and you have to build them into the asset in order to answer those questions. Now, in the last few years, there's been this excitement about using AI to solve this problem. And when LLMs came bursting into the scene, everyone in the market started just rushing to bolt on some off-the-shelf LLM to add AI-assisted capabilities. The idea is super compelling, right? So you saw how great the assistant was at just writing SQL. So if you just bolt on, you can create an experience where the user can just ask questions in natural language and just get answers. And now everyone in the industry has a demo like this, right? You can just ask questions and get a beautiful dashboard. No more data scientists, no more data analysts. Everyone gets the data they need. But is that what's really happening in the real world? Well, we took a look and we actually tried some of the leading BI tools that are available today, including one that I personally think is really leading the field, especially in this area. And we used the realistic sales opportunity data set and asked it a simple question, which is, how's my pipeline? How's my sales pipeline in this case? Now, these are some of the answers that we got. One vendor showed us that we had a whole bunch of nulls, which was truthful to the data, right? We did have a bunch of nulls, but this was not exactly useful. Another tool told us that, well, I have no pipeline at all. And the reason for that was that it generated some, realistic-looking sales stages and thought, we should have, but we didn't have those. And so it told us we have no pipeline. And a third vendor told us, well, just try again. I don't actually understand your question, because you never defined what pipeline was in the semantic model underneath our tool, and so we don't know what pipeline means. Now, I'm showing you this not to make fun of these tools, because these are actually great BI tools. And I bet with a little bit of work in wrangling or semantic modeling, we can get all these tools to work and answer this question. But my point is actually much more fundamental, which is this idea of just bolting on a generic LLM simply isn't enough to realize the transformative power of AI and BI together, right? And that's because generic LLMs just don't understand the uniqueness of your data. They don't understand how messy your data is and all the tricks that your analysts and data scientists have put in their dashboards, queries, and notebooks in order to handle it. And they also don't understand the domain-specific semantics that you have. Jensen talked about it a little bit earlier. Right? And every company has their own concept of things. Everyone knows what churn is, but the churn is different for every single company. Now, the traditional BI approach to solving this problem is to stuff everything and pre-model it inside a semantic layer. And semantic layers are great, right? Semantic layers are super powerful. But at the same time, the reality is trying to model everything in your enterprise is also just not realistic. And the good news, though, is that we think AI actually can solve these problems. But it requires a ground-up approach, not bolting on something, starting from the grounds up, which is what we've done. And that's why I'm so excited to announce today that we are launching Databricks AI BI, an AI-first approach to business intelligence. Now, we think this is really the first step in really, truly democratizing data and analytics for everyone. So what is it? What is AI BI? Well, it's BI, so it contains dashboards. And our goal here is just to simply provide the quickest, simplest way to build a dashboard in Databricks and share it with a lot of people. Now, AI BI dashboards might not have all the bells and whistles of our amazing BI partners, but it covers the basics. It has a no-code, drag-and-drop experience. It has scheduling. It has exporting. It even has cross-filtering, as the animation is showing here. And it's all built to be super fast and deeply integrated into Unity Catalog. So, it's built into Databricks SQL, so you don't have to manage some separate service. But the really cool part of AI BI is that with one click, you can flip to the other experience. We call it Genie. Now, Genie is a conversational experience similar to chatting with an analyst or chatting with them on Slack. And it takes in regularly expressed business questions in English and answers them back in vizzes and in queries. Now, that might sound almost exactly like the same pitch that I was just telling you about. So what makes Genie special? Well, I think you guys are all experts in compound AI systems now, because we talked so much about them. But it's an compound AI system that continuously learns the unique data and semantics of your business. It uses an ensemble of specialized AI agents that uses different LLMs working in concert. And these agents are able to leverage the tool and context that's available as part of the data intelligence platform. So this includes things like Unity Catalog metadata, like PKFK constraints, all the comments that you've put in there. It also includes the execution query history of all your different workloads. And this is how it's able to pick up contextually how all the unique logic that your business uses. It also uses related assets and look at things like notebooks and dashboards and queries to understand the context as well. And if a semantic model is available, it'll also use that. Now, all of this is connected into in an agentic workflow, and we've taught it in such a way that it goes back to the user to seek clarification when it's not able to infer the answer from all the tools that's available to it. And the really special part is it remembers these clarifications, so it continues to learn and get better and better so that it's able to actually answer really complicated questions far beyond what you could pre-model in a semantic model as it kind of learns over time. That's a lot of slides, and it's very abstract. So the best way to see what AI BI is obviously to see it. So I'd like to invite Miranda Luna, product lead for AI BI, to the stage to show you.
Thank you, Ken. Hi, everybody. My name is Miranda, and I'm a product manager here at Databricks. And it is my distinct pleasure to show you AI BI in action today. So why don't let's do the BI side of the house first. Dashboards are part of our lives. This is some CRM data. They're not going anywhere. We are really excited to move beyond there, but I'm just going to create this guy real quick. Let's do a bar chart of opportunities by region, perhaps. So let's see. Let's ask for a bar chart. Pipeline, region, shorter, accept it. And then let's also do this little switch on the side here if we want to point and click. So you've got options, but if I want to break glass and go to the actual SQL, let's get some comments here. So this is the same guy Pearl showed us. I'm going to accept it. So now this query is doing a couple things, right? It's helping clean up some messy data. It's defining pipeline as stage 2, 3, 4. And it's getting all that context from the platform, right? It knows this because it was in a notebook. We're a little behind today, so I'm going fast. So I'm going to publish. And then if we come on over here, that's what you expect to see in a BI tool. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that we're moving ahead. So we are on the canvas. And perfect. OK, so we're going to go ahead and scoot on over to the canvas. And this is where I'm going to go just double check that we have everything we expect from the dashboarding layer. So we're going to go ahead and publish. There we go. And now we're going to go ahead and take a look at what we have here in publish mode. Now, of course, I can share this dashboard with anybody in my org. I can share that with folks that don't have access to the workspace, which is exciting. I can certainly also make sure I have PDF subscriptions. I can take a look at the lineage. I'm pulling that up here. So we've got that connected. You can kind of see what I'm highlighting. And then, of course, I can cross-filter. So I'm going ahead and doing my favorite point and click here, which is fantastic. But this is not where the demo ends, right? The exciting thing about AI BI is that we're not done just at the data viz layer. We're going to go ahead and launch Genie and ask new questions instead of asking an analyst. So let's do, how's my pipeline? How's my pipeline? Ken's favorite question. I'll leave that part out. And yep, looks like we've got it by region. Love to see that. Perfect. Let's slice and dice. Americas, maybe? Let's tap Americas. And let's maybe look at it by segment. Perfect. So we've got our segment here. And let's go ahead and do a pie chart. Cool. So while Genie's getting that pie chart going for us, let's take a look at the code. So the code here is actually going to be exactly what we saw in the dashboard side of the house. We're filtering out these forecast categories are null. We've got demo stage, validation stage, procurement stage. And we are, again, ingesting all that context from the fact that it's in our pipelines and such. Perfect. So let's go ahead and ask a new question. Let's ask something that was not in the dashboard. Let's ask about sales reps. Maybe who's our top rep? Let's take a look at that. So who created the most pipeline? Perfect. Great. So let's see who's doing the best here. Lauren. OK, snaps for Lauren. How does Lauren compare to our average reps? So compare to our average rep. Perfect. Awesome. So let's go ahead and take a look. We confirmed we're getting kind of some different numbers there. But Ken promised us we couldn't just get through messy data. He promised us we couldn't just get through specifics to the business. He told us we could plow through missing semantics. So let's ask Genie something it doesn't know. Let's go ahead and ask about churn, perhaps. OK, great. So Genie did not hallucinate. We love to see that. It's asking us to tell it more. And instead of me having to go find someone with permission to update the semantic layer, I'm just going to tell it what churn is. I know what it is. So let's go ahead and do that. Churn is when we lose an op and don't win another after that. Perfect. Let's see, Genie, can you learn this? Perfect. OK, so we've got some churned opportunities right here. And the nice thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to hit this save as instruction. So when I save it as an instruction, that's going to let everybody else in the company leverage that same definition. I have a colleague in Europe. They want to come in. They want to ask the same thing. They are going to be able to. And if they need to modify that definition, they can. So let's be that colleague in Europe now. Let's go ahead. And who churned last quarter in Europe? Perfect. So it looks like we're seeing a list of those churned customers. Again, Genie also connected the dots between EMEA and Europe. So we're going to go ahead and say that's a W. But let's actually see if Genie can extend this knowledge. Let's ask it to calculate a churn rate. So can Genie calculate a churn rate? Let's say, again, in Europe, we're there. We'll stay there. Mediterranean, it's summer. And let's really challenge it. What was churn rate last quarter? There. Awesome. OK, so just like that, Genie was able to learn what churn is from me and apply it. Let's just toss this in a little viz real quick. Make sure we have a nice kind of chart of where everything looks like churn rate by region. Awesome. Looks like America is doing pretty well on a low churn rate. But this is great, right? We were able to see how we went from a dashboard to asking follow-up questions that were not in the context of that dashboard. And we were actually able to teach Genie some missing semantic information, have it then apply that in multiple contexts for multiple users, and for Genie to extend that understanding to new data. So with that, I'm going to hand it back over to Mr. Ken, and we are so excited to see what you do with AI BI.
Awesome. What do you guys think? All right. Now, as I said up top, anyone can make slides or throw together a demo. The hard part is really making it work on real-world data, doing real-world analysis, which is why we've made a point to start working with customers on Genie and AI BI from the very beginning. Customers like Accolade, Sega, Kythera, T-Mobile. But my favorite feedback actually came from a conversation between one of our SAs and Brian Fox. He's the CTO of Sonatype. He had lots and lots of different feedback for us, but this is how he wrapped up the conversation. So I'll let you read it. I won't repeat it here. But this type of feedback is really why we're super excited about the future that's ahead of for AI BI. But the truth is, this is going to be a long journey, and we're really just getting started. And we really, truly believe in this idea that in order to solve this problem for real, we really need to work with real-world data on real-world problems with all of you. Which is why I am very, very happy to announce that AI BI is available to all Databricks SQL customers today. So you can start immediately building your dashboards. Those are fully generally available, and you can also just toggle on Genie in your workspace right now. Our goal really is to make it possible for as many people to be able to use AI BI. That's our mission. And along the same lines, we're equally excited about the possibilities of opening up our AI BI APIs. Well, that's a mouthful. Opening that up for all of our partners, so that they can benefit from all the work we've done as well. We believe in partnering and creating an open ecosystem so that everyone can truly democratize data and AI, no matter what tools and experience they use. Thank you.